Found out I was
Yeah,
from Nebraska.
I get that confused.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Coming to you through the electrical impulses of the internet, it's F That Noise. Featuring Mike Burdick, Keith Reed, Jamie Klein, Pete Melia, and Steve Taylor. It's episode 17 of F That Noise. I am Keith Grieve here, driving this train wreck, joined as always by Pete Melia, Mike Burdick, Jamie Klein,
Keep your sunny side up.
and Steve Taylor. And,
These are mine.
well, there goes the official answer. The poll, we're streaming live on Facebook Live, and the poll was who was going to lose their shit first. And I wonder if anybody had Steve, because he's already...
Listen, I don't believe sharing my furry nipples with the world is losing my shit.
For this early in the show, I would beg to differ with you.
It is all Mike's fault, by the way.
It always
Ah, fruits.
is. It always is. All right, so we start out every episode with the drive of the week, and a drive, if you are not familiar, is a line from a movie or TV show said with exceptional velocity and volume. And as always, this segment belongs to Mr. James Klein.
All right. Hello, ladies and germs. We have, this is 1994's The Professional, starring John Reno, a very young Natalie Portman, and the great Gary Oldman. Now, if anyone's familiar with Gary Oldman's work, every other film, he must drive something. He's always screaming. He's always pissed. He's always due for a drive. His greatest drive, though, happens to be in this film, The Professional, from 1994. He's going to drive so long, and his head shakes. It looks like it's about to fall off his body. But here is a little taste of Gary Oldman from The Professional.
Alpha team, man down, man down. I told you. Manny, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Oh, it's just so fast.
I love his teeth gritting in that.
You got to see it. You really got to see it.
Yeah. The drive is even better when you see it visually.
His mouth like pushes through time and space.
Oh, Mike and Quantum Leap.
So if we're
Right.
Couldn't see that one coming, you know? Like,
Right. No, you don't. You don't see it coming at all.
he's really handling it so well. He's like, bring me everyone. You know, it's a big crisis, right? I'm just saying.
So where does his head shaking compare? Where does his head shaking compare with last week's drive of the week, the Star Trek II Wrath of Khan, where Shatner's all
probably the
fevered
greatest
and
drive.
just shaking his head?
Well,
Wrath of Khan was up on a cloud staring down at it.
yeah, there's two different schools of acting here. You have, the William Shatner believes you put it all out in your sleeve, and Gary Oldman, he's got to own it inside first, and he owns that. Everyone.
He definitely owns that thing.
Owns.
That was the drive of the week, brought to you by Trashman Media. For the latest Blu-ray and DVD reviews, including videos and interviews, check out Trashman Media at trashmanmedia.com, as well as on Twitter and Facebook.
And don't forget to check out www.bizarreabyss.com for all news, no bullshit.
Twitter.
You got to be careful. The battery. I twittered one time and almost lost my shit.
Oh my God. I Twitter all the time in my pants.
Twitter.
If you could find like the most, like if you could find like a viral tweet that sets the world off, is that called the Twitterist?
Oh boy.
Come
Come on, Keith, you've never find the Twitterist in your life. Come on.
It's comedy gold, Jerry. It's gold.
It's gold, Jerry. It's gold.
All right, so obviously we are all facing this brave new world, this modern day post-apocalyptic world, quarantined with the coronavirus.
or the prevention of the coronavirus. And so, as we seem to be living this disaster, we thought we'd talk about our favorite disaster films. And how should we do this, boys? Should we just like open the floor, or should I go off IMDb's top list?
Well, somebody had said the top three of disaster / post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, like, either in the midst of the end of the world or, after the end of the world.
Okay, I gave this a lot of thought, and two of mine are from the same franchise, but my number 3 is the Poseidon Adventure, the Gene Hackman one, not the crappy remake. That's got to be number 3. Number 2 is The Road Warrior, and number 1 is Mad Max Fury Road. Those are my top 3.
Those are disaster movies, though?
And disaster / post-apocalyptic.
Okay, see, to me, that's not a disaster. Okay, post-apocalypse is totally different. Yeah. I thought you were talking about disaster films, where it's like you said, Poseidon Adventure,
you can go either
Airport.
Way, because, depending on where you think we are in the current crisis, we're either, in the midst of a disaster or, it's about to go to post-apocalyptic. So you can go either way.
Because I already got a leather jockstrap, and I'm starting to really build up a gas supply in my house.
Perfect.
Do you have any leather pants?
That's right.
I like how you prioritize that, atop everything else. Well done.
Penis.
Excellent preparedness. Very well. Okay. I'm gonna throw out The Matrix. Probably is my probably number 1 post-apocalyptic movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess that that would count.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Post-apocalyptic. I don't know. This is gonna like.
Now.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to throw this to the group. Would you consider, even though it's a comedy and a satire, would you consider Airplane a disaster movie?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Well,
disaster.
Yeah. For the purposes here, I would say probably not, just because we're talking like a worldwide thing. Like everybody's like it's facing like the end of the world.
Now the movie it's spoofing.
I like what you tried to do there, though, Steve.
Thank you, brother.
I admire that.
That was on and off my list because I couldn't decide on exactly what it was.
The movie it's spoofing, Airport, is number 21 on IMDb's top list.
See, so maybe.
And Airport 1975 is number 22. Go figure. See, this is going to probably like draw ire from everybody on this panel, but I have never seen a single Mad Max movie.
Oh, what the fuck?
What?
First it was Gremlins 2. Now it's Mad Max.
You've never seen Overboard?
No, well, I have seen that.
I'm gonna tell you though, I have never seen a Mad Max movie either.
Oh,
what?
No.
What the fuck out of here! I'm done with this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're done. We're done.
Oh, wow,
all right. I'm just gonna stay here and keep drinking.
This is garbage.
So I'm gonna go masturbate to Mel Gibson.
I think my favorite disaster movie though, like, oh man, I agree with Pete's choice of The Matrix as far as post-apocalyptic, but
listen, I know you starred in Armageddon, but do not say Armageddon.
No, that was not a good movie. That was like a
it doesn't have to
but
be a
you
good
starred
movie.
in it, so I just wanted to make sure.
It doesn't have to be a good movie. It has to be one of your favorites.
One of my okay.
And everybody knows that movie is keeped out.
Why? Why is Armageddon keeped out? Tell the people in the world why that movie is keeped out.
Because you're Ben Affleck?
No, that's right. Really not. I started watching Chasing Amy the other day on Netflix, and I don't because it's wonderful.
Oh, you're so
You're
so holding.
No, that's not me at all.
Chasing Amy, Phantoms, and Armageddon is 100% Keith Grieve.
No.
Yes.
I disagree.
Shrunken Phantoms.
I love Phantoms.
Also, classic Tom Hanks. I'd go with sometimes I see Keith.
Oh, Jesus.
Keith is Bachelor Party Tom Hanks.
Yes, that's without a doubt.
Nice.
So
that's or the man with one red shoe.
I've never seen that movie all the way through. I tried.
Oh my God!
The man with one red shoe.
I've tried so many times. I don't like it.
Oh my God!
It's kind of dull. It's bland.
Great.
But it is an underrated Jim Belushi role in that movie.
See, I was gonna say underrated.
He's the best thing about that movie.
Oh, he's hysterical in that movie.
I was gonna say underrated Carrie Fisher as well.
She's pretty awesome when she does the Tarzan.
Yeah. I think my personal favorite. I'm looking at the list really quick here on IMDb just to get some
Keith
ideas.
came prepared for this.
No, I did not.
He never is.
It would have to be the Perfect Storm. I really like that's a movie that if it's on, I will watch it and I will finish it.
Ooh, there's a
No,
Christmas movie on there right now.
That's one I've never seen. I've never seen that movie.
Go up the list, Keith. Go up the list.
Okay, so let's start at the bottom here. Number 32, Titanic.
Oh, the worst movie ever
Christmas.
made. Fuck that thing.
Still never
Fuck
seen
that
that
thing.
movie.
Christmas. Number 31, The Birds.
I piss on Titanic.
Number 30.
Great movie.
Oh, really?
Number 30.
I'd rather watch The Last Jedi 20 times than Titanic.
Ah, there
If
it
you would
is.
have pissed, maybe they would have lived in that cold water.
There
I mentioned it,
is.
Jamie. You said to mention it. I mentioned it.
I did.
Number 30, Contagion. Number 29, The Perfect Storm. Number 28, 2012.
Oh, that movie
Fuck
sucked.
that.
Just ahead of that, Twister, which I didn't think
Yeah,
Twister was
right.
all that bad of a movie, except for the flying cow and that infamous story. Number 26 is a
That
TV.
drunken ice twisters.
Yeah, it's a
What the hell is that?
It's a 2009 TV movie. Ice Twisters. I'm clicking on that.
that.
You can watch it on Prime Video, apparently.
2009. Can you imagine being some dolt that thinks that's like a great movie?
Charlie Price, a former scientist turned science fiction author, starts living one of his novels when the Federal Science Foundation's weather experiments escape control and turn disastrous. Sounds like a winner.
Stars Moses.
Sounds like a winner.
Like a piece of shit.
The day the Earth
Sharknado.
the day the Earth stood still, number 25. The Hindenburg from number 24. Geostorm from 2017 is
Mike
number
knows.
23.
That was fucking horrible.
Then you got the two airport movies, and now we get into the top 20. Magma, Volcanic Disaster. It was a 2006 TV movie. Tidal Wave. Here's number 18, Hard Rain.
Oh, I love Hard Rain. I fucking love Hard Rain. How is that shit not above Armageddon? Fuck that.
And then Armageddon is number 17.
Steve loves his Armageddon.
No, Steve loves his Independence Day, number 16.
No, fuck that.
Ugh.
I love Hard Rain, goddammit.
We went and saw Independence Day, and Jamie and I were sitting next to each other, and there's an infamous story about pissing off the woman in front of us. But we all hated it.
We said a couple weeks ago, right?
Steve walked out loving that movie. I remember. And Jamie and I were all like, eh.
Oh, that
Well, he must have had some good candy.
Well,
I like Will Smith's penis.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Number 15, Into the Storm from 2014.
I didn't just say so.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Fascinating.
Number
That's an angle
4.
on that movie I never considered.
Oh, Pete, that was the best reaction ever.
I was willing to write the thing off, honestly. Like I saw it once. I was like, oh god.
Will Smith's penis?
I don't know what that movie was. I just can't get behind that at all, you know. But
Number 14 is
But I don't know.
Daylight.
Yeah,
Stallone.
that sucked.
Will Smith.
Volcano, number 13. 12,
Oh, Tommy Lee Jones.
Cloverfield, number 12.
Get him, Cloverfield.
Number 11, The Wave. Never even heard of that movie.
Zoo.
Number 10, The Core from 2003.
Oh, that sucked.
Ooh, it's another Skybeam, it looks like.
The Impossible, number 9 from 2012. Starring Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor and Tom Holland.
No,
You can tell it stood the test of time when you can't fucking remember any of it.
So there's Steve's aforementioned piece of crap remake, Poseidon, at number 8.
How the fuck is it number 8? That movie was horrible.
I think,
Well,
I
if you
believe.
go by IMDb, people are probably selecting it thinking it's the
Right, they're
original.
voting on it, yeah.
Yeah.
They think it's the original.
Oh,
So-
Ice Twisters, man.
Oh,
I'm telling
Or
you.
they're
fucking.
huge Kurt Russell fans.
It
All
was
right.
so bad. Holy
So-
shit, that was so bad. Richard Travis go fuck himself in that movie.
Then
Oh.
Dante's Peak, number 7. San Andreas, number 6.
Balls.
Dante's penis?
Earthquake,
Yes.
number 5. The Towering
Oh.
Inferno,
That's
number
terrible.
4. There's the original Poseidon Adventure, number 3.
Nice.
Number 2, Deep Impact. And number 1, on IMDb's Best Disaster Movies list the day after tomorrow, 2004.
Holy shit.
Which is
That
it's
was
funny because on
terrible.
IMDb it's the best one, but it has a 6.4.
Nice.
So what if I?
Kind of tells you.
Well, if I sorted this by IMDb rating, now we get into a very different list.
Oh, I was gonna say the birds have to be up there, and now there you go, number 2.
Oh, this is.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Am my eyes deceiving me at number 1?
Nope, Titanic is the highest rated disaster movie on IMDb.
Fuck you, Titanic. It was a disaster. It was horribly acted.
There's
You wanted to be the end of the world.
So let's,
Oh my god.
So let's see if
Wednesday.
did the bad movies
Bringing
end up at the
us rounding
bottom.
up the top 5.
Magma
Nice.
is number 32. Ice Twisters is 31. Pete, I know you're disappointed.
Will Smith's Corn Cob.
But that's not a disaster movie. That's a very different genre.
Penis.
Yes, all of that.
Right.
So, I don't know.
It's like a black comedy.
So Steve,
Oh my god.
Steve and Pete shared their favorites. I shared mine. Jamie and Mike, what do you got?
James?
Oh, me? Mine is nowhere near there. I'm going The Day After. It's a made-for-TV movie from 1983 about World War III. And it actually had a pretty good cast. Jason Robards was in it. Steve Guttenberg was in it. There was a bunch of people were actually in that movie. And it was the film that Ronald Reagan was actually disturbed by it. And that was the film that he wanted to meet with Russia and get rid of the arms race and start to take that down because of that movie.
Oh,
It's still disturbing to me. I actually watched it with my buddy Anthony about a year or so ago, and I still found it disturbing. But it's really good, real good, made for TV movie, and ahead of its time because it was controversial when it was debuted on television. But if you're going post-apocalypse movies, easily The Road Warrior. It's considered one of the greatest action films ever made. 100% The Road Warrior, best post-apocalypse movie ever made.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll tell you the over the course of what's going on now, I keep thinking back to the movie 12 Monkeys.
Oh, you know what?
I love that
Oh,
movie.
I forgot
And
about that
the
movie.
thing about 12 Monkeys is not only do I like that movie, but the idea of the end of the world, as far as I've interpreted it, is it could have been prevented. Like it's all based on some big misunderstanding. Exactly. And it's all based on like a misunderstanding. It's based on like the fear getting and taking things completely out of control. And I feel like that's what the mood of 12 Monkeys was. And I feel like the fear everyone has right now kind of takes that out of control. So I keep going back in my head. I love that movie.
Oh, so good.
I have to see that again. I remember I really liked it, but I remember I didn't like the ending, but I don't remember how it ended.
I remember you
Yeah,
hating
I'm the
that
same
movie.
way.
Well,
Yeah.
the way
Jamie,
it
we
ended,
saw that. We saw that at the old Pittsford. That big
Yes,
theater.
the back theater. Yeah.
Yes, I
Big
remember
giant
that.
back theater.
Yeah, the way it ended, it kind of destroys my point because the whole time they're talking about how it's basically like there's these animals loose and everyone started freaking out and they thought like it's this big disease is coming and the animals are fulfilling this prophecy and all this kind of stuff. And
Wait,
then
do you want to
the
tell
end,
the ending right now, Mike?
no, the ending,
Spoiler!
Yeah. Spoiler alert! Spoiler.
Zoo, the movie's like 30 years old.
No,
it's at the end.
Everyone?
the woman who is one of the
Will Smith's
leaders at
penis?
the end, the disfigured leaders. At the
Penis.
end, she comes out of like onto a city street and is ready to like drop this poisonous stuff out. So like she causes, or no, she's on the plane and she causes the end of the world.
No, she's not.
wait. Let me get this straight. Is she on the goddamn plane or isn't she? Like,
No, she's on the plane. I'm
hearing
mixing
she
it up with
wasn't.
something else. She's on the plane and like
Okay,
she's
I'm just
ready. Like you can tell she's ready to cause the end of the world.
I gotta see this movie again.
But now, is Will Smith's penis in this movie?
Yes,
Ah.
Okay.
it's in a jar.
Oh, I knew it.
Yes.
Knew it.
It's right
But
next to
no,
Will
that
Wonders.
one I love.
ACDC forever.
Also, the Terminator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I
didn't think about that.
Yeah. Damn it.
It's both end of the world and post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
And I know this is one that never gets any love, but I actually liked the fourth Terminator movie, The Salvation.
Oh, I did too.
It's not bad. I wouldn't say I really liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was decent.
I thought it was what
it
was what that should be like. That's what that continuation should have been like, you know. But I like that. And honorable mention, I went and saw Independence Day in college, and I was stoned.
Oh, okay.
And I think
okay.
I think that movie was a lot different than the next time I saw it.
Okay, that makes sense.
So what's better, stoned or not?
Stoned, completely stoned.
The answer is always yes. But,
Yeah.
Well, what about Dawn of the Dead? I'm just gonna throw that out there to the wolves.
So is that
talking like the what? Which one was it?
But
the one that Ving Rhames was in.
You guys are totally. You're right. I didn't think about this. Okay, you're gonna get into that. Yeah, you're right. Pete, good call. Dawn of the Dead would far surpass anything for me.
Again,
I love Dawn of the Dead.
Again, another movie
It's
I've
totally
never
a
seen.
post-apocalyptic, basically.
Hell, even Day of the Dead. I love that fucking movie.
Day of the Dead is great also.
Oh yeah.
But is that a zombie
Day
movie?
of the Dead might have a another reference again in a Drive of the Week, I think, too.
Is that a zombie movie? Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah. Oh
yeah. The Dawn of the Dead's a lot lighter, right? It's you know.
Wait,
it's a lot
Keith,
lighter.
you just asked is Dawn of the Dead a zombie movie?
I'm
Did you just
assuming.
ask that?
Never saw it.
No, but is it the one in the mall?
Oh my God.
Is Miracle at 34th Street about Christmas?
Don't be a douchebag. Don't be a goddamn douchebag. You know who's on my side? What do you mean everyone? That's who's on my side.
Well, there you go.
There's no way to argue with that.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
If you shake your head feverishly, you can't argue.
That's right.
At least he didn't ask if Mad Max was a zombie movie.
You know what? This is why I don't talk to you fuckers.
Vaginas.
Is the Poseidon Adventure about a submarine? No, sorry.
Is Miami Spice a zombie movie?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, if anyone ever wants to watch a good porn, check out Miami Spice 2.
Because of the robot?
Yeah, forget the original. The original does have
a good town
in it. That robot is
oh my God. Oh my God, I love that.
God, that little robot looking over and they're banging. Holy fuck, that's funny as hell. And the fact that they took the beginning of Miami Vice, the girls are walking in their bikinis, and Miami Spice, they're like totally topless, and they come right at the screen with their big old titties. Oh, it's so great.
Oh, Amber Lynn.
It was before it shot on film, and it had John Leslie.
I'm morbidly curious to play this trailer for The Core from 2003.
No, don't. It's an awful movie.
I just want to see it.
Oh my God.
No,
Here
it's
it comes.
awful.
Oh shit.
We're going to lose viewers right now.
Oh wait, gotta wait for the ad to play.
Oh,
How did you go wrong?
Should have known.
Hillary
better.
Swank and Aaron Eckhart. It's crap. It's what it was. Wasn't it the same time as
Two great actors also, but in a total terrible film.
wasn't that her post-Oscar winning?
It was a secret government program known as Project Destiny.
We're building a weapon that could generate targeted seismic events.
Designed to use earthquakes to attack our enemies.
I'm getting a seismic reading.
It was a perfect, untraceable weapon.
Destiny is a go.
Until something went wrong.
That's an electrical superstorm popping up all over the world.
We've been hit. Kite is out. We've lost control. Coming in high and hot.
Endeavor, you are off course.
Oh, space shuttle eats it. That's awful CG.
I'll put this as simply as I can. Everybody on Earth is dead in a year.
The core of the Earth has stopped spinning. The spinning core protects us from cosmic radiation. Without it, radiation will create superstorms. Microwaves will literally cook our planet. This had happened. It was Project Destiny. We killed the planet. So, how do we fix it?
Hello, Tucci.
The core is the size of Mars. You're talking about jump-starting a
I
planet.
had seismic activity talking about Miami Spice, too.
We'll hear about your legendary ship.
What would it take to get it in 3 months?
Hello,
You take a
Give it
trip.
to me, Bob.
We need you to
Give it to me,
control all
Bob.
the information.
You want me to hack the planet? I'm gonna need Star Trek tapes and Hot Pockets.
Jamie, do you know what?
You are good.
For some reason, I was thinking about that movie the other day.
You're trying to
French
save
Connection.
the world. It's impossible. I came here to
Wait,
save my
Wes,
wife and
explain
children.
to everyone.
Just hope I'm
You're
not
not
Okay.
to save them.
No. There is one of the most amazing pornos ever.
Popeye
Was called
Pussy.
The French Connection.
Tucci.
And there was a part in the beginning that killed me. It's these women were getting shipped through crates, and one woman gets another woman out of a box, and she's like, "Yeah, it was great in Paris, but I just want a good old American fuck." And then this guy comes in the camera, and he's like, "Welcome home," and she looks at him, and then they just start fucking. It was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in
The
my
girls
life.
like look at each other like,
Yeah, they come off the boat that way, you know?
oh, it's
Just welcome home.
Will you sign for this? Oh, come right off the boat that way.
I love that they smuggled in these cardboard boxes.
Oh, it's fucking
It's
awesome.
Traveled over continents to these cardboard boxes. And the guy goes, "Welcome home." They get suck jobbed.
And it was weird. Gene Hackman was in that movie too.
Oh,
Oh,
he was in Return to Moosecock.
yeah, that's right. He was.
Dear God.
This is the last one, Moosecacks. So let me tell you.
So tell me.
I want to share this with everybody. Okay.
Please.
For those of you that everyone's aware of what's going on, and I've been now. It was
What?
a week ago Sunday, so it's almost been 2 full weeks that I've been at home 100% with the kids and the family. And I remember when that happened is when Disney Plus put Frozen 2 streaming. And I said to myself on day one, this is the best thing that ever happened to me. Now I want to say it's the worst fucking thing that ever happened to me.
How many times have you
I
watched
want
that
to
movie,
take that
Steve?
movie and I want to shit down its throat.
How many
I'm
times?
telling you, you started kind of high on that one.
Yeah, you did.
I watch that movie 3 times a day because my daughter loves it. And I loved it at first, and I fucking
Thanks for reining the optimism in a little bit.
I am bringing it in. I'm bringing it in.
Kids,
it's fucking horrible.
Dude, like,
Wait, Steve, isn't that Michelle actually watched that today because we're stuck here quarantined? She said it's pretty depressing. Is that true?
It's got, it's like a typical Disney movie. It's depressing in certain points, and it's got a happy ending.
Yeah, but
Kinda
don't they
like Miami
basically
Spice
just redo the first one?
Everyone's
only
parents
not as
die
good?
instantly when the credits
No,
roll in the beginning.
because I hated the first one, and I actually kind of liked the second one, but now I hate the second one because I've watched it 75
But
times.
isn't it like Olaf or Slavic or whatever the hell that thing is? Doesn't it die or something?
He does say knuckle sandwich.
no, that's
Slavic
that's
in that
Roman.
C-3PO dies in it.
Thank you, my friends.
There was a gorilla named Roman.
Morning,
Nobody knows
Jamie.
why.
My soul dies every time I watch it. That's all I know.
Jeez.
How old's Gemma now?
Like your heart is frozen. What? You see what I did there? You see what I
2.
did?
2.
Wait, Ray was 4. She was 4 when I was living on that
Hands off her, Ray.
apartment in East Avenue, and she used to watch The Swan Princess on Netflix.
Oh,
Over and over and over, much like
So
what
did
you're,
Jamie.
The Swan Princess?
yeah, much like what you're dealing with right now, Steve. So I feel your pain. I know exactly what you're going through.
It's horrible.
It is.
It's
Show 'em
fucking
Russ
horrible.
Myers
What did you say?
I said, show him Russ Myers up.
Oh my
They go
god.
over and over again.
Very different
I
than.
tell you, how you feel about Frozen is how I feel about TikTok.
But dude,
Oh Christ.
Oh, Jesus Christ. My
God.
daughter will have no phone in front of her and will still be TikToking.
She's big on social media. Every now and then I'll get that little message. Hey, Isabella Burdick has just started a video on Instagram. Watch. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We keep a pretty close watch, but she's on it. She's on it quite a bit.
That's all my daughter
Why don't you
does.
tell the viewers what TikTok is? Or why don't you explain it to Jamie
Oh,
Klein?
the viewers know if they have children.
Jamie,
Um,
everybody's on TikTok. Do you know who's on TikTok?
That's
really? They are. Really.
I see what
They
you
got
did
them
there. He used the drive of the wave.
Oh,
It was so subtle. I didn't see it coming. Yeah.
it's the same players.
Same players.
Same players.
It's the same players.
A white barber can't cut a black man's hair.
Num shiba. Num shiba.
What on?
Can I tell you a funny story about that?
No.
Wait.
So much for that.
And
I'm going to tell you anyways. When I just got out of boot camp. I was in Marine combat training, and there were these 3 Latino guys that were cutting each other's hair. And I said, I'll get a free haircut. So they cut my hair, and this fucking drill instructor comes out. He's like, "Don't you see his fucking skin? That is a white boy. You cannot cut his hair that way." And he screamed at them. I was like, "What? I look all right." He's like, "No, you look fucking retarded." I was like, "God damn it."
Wow.
I'll never forget that. I was like, "I thought I looked good."
Someone should have told that Marine officer that you can't say retarded.
That guy could say whatever the fuck he wanted. He was motherfucking...
Oh, man.
Listen.
I'm
That's all I
listening.
gotta say.
I'm listening.
No, that I don't know if anybody on this
Sorry, I
podcast
wasn't
was there, but the reference that I just made was in study hall and way back in high school, and Kevin Brown.
There we go with the names. Son of a bitch.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's this is who said it. He wouldn't say anything bad about it. Kevin Brown was in study hall, and I was perplexed because I think it might have been Paul Bentley and him. I don't know, but somebody said, they were talking about getting there, how, his barber could cut his hair or something. And he was just insistent on this point that a white man can't cut the black man's hair. And it was perplexed because I couldn't figure out what he was talking about, but he just kept repeating the phrase like matter of fact. It was very, a white man can't cut a black man's hair. And he never like explained it, but you kind of, after a while, you kind of just knew what he meant. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What if he was like Steve Martin from The Jerk and was raised by them?
Ah.
Yeah.
Shit, I know.
Mike knows The Jerk.
Yeah.
I do.
He likes to jerk.
Oh, you know what?
Yes.
Would you guys consider this is the end? End of the post or apocalyptic movie?
It was terrible.
Oh, I liked it.
I liked
But
it too.
it literally is a post-apocalyptic movie and end of the world movie.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie, but
It really is.
That's what happens.
Oh, we have Division. I thought it was hilarious.
Vision. I just like the Backstreet Boys, so.
I'm looking at this list. Like, you can find some really shitty lists on the internet. Like,
I'll talk Division. I don't think that there's any real problem with Armageddon.
oh,
Yeah, I thought it was all right. It's a guilty pleasure movie. It's not good, but it's
I don't have a problem with that.
I go with guilty pleasure. Sure, that works.
like it's like if it's on, if I was flipping the channels, I'd watch it. More than I would watch Deep Impact.
What do you think of the Aerosmith song, Mike?
I feel like I have no answer. I don't know.
I don't know. To me, that was the end of Michael Bay. Because prior to that,
Is there a start, Michael Bay?
Well, I love The Rock. I really like Con Air.
But he didn't direct that.
Con Air, I thought he did.
No, it was Simon West.
Did he just produce it?
That's right.
No, it wasn't.
He didn't direct The Rock either, did he?
No, he did do The Rock. I forgot about that.
Okay, so Screen Rant.
Did he direct it or produce it?
So Screen Rant now has the 10 best disaster movies ever ranked. So I had to double check the title of this. It says ever. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 10, War of the Worlds 2005.
Fuck that.
That's fucking terrible.
Number 9, The Poseidon Adventure, the original. Number 8, Independence Day. Number 7, Titanic. At least it's not number
Christmas.
1. Number 6, The Towering Inferno. Number 5, Twister again. Number 4, Apollo 13. That's a
zoo.
I don't really.
That's our end of the world. I mean, a disaster happens, but
it's a true story.
To those guys, yeah.
Yeah, for those three, it's the end of the world. Everyone else would have been fine.
Now, this. I don't know about number.
I mean, it totally sucks, but.
I don't know about number 3 all time, but I liked Gravity.
What am I supposed to do about it?
I never saw Gravity.
Anybody else see Gravity?
No, I never saw it.
Sandra
It
Bullock
was
is
like
not my favorite.
it was like good for the first like
The
half hour, and
Birds?
then it went to shit.
So then
Never
you
would
got
have considered that.
Hitchcock's The Birds. Now I'm building up the drama here for number one because I've never heard of this movie until I just looked at this page just now. The Impossible, number one.
Never heard of this fucking movie either.
So here's the description. This tale of a true natural disaster is the most moving and terrifying in the genre. The tsunami is flawlessly realistic, with scenes of terror involving both sweeping shots of carnage and intimate points of view.
Yes.
This film is
It's got
more
Naomi
interested in
Watts.
the aftermath of a disaster than the event itself. As such, it mostly focuses on a family's desperate attempts to reunite.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts. I do remember this.
I just rubbed my eyes, so I'm going to get COVID 19 over here.
Ew.
Wow.
Everyone gets 6 feet away from your phone.
I mean, and let's not forget one of the biggest disasters in recent television and cinematic history was the final season of Game of Thrones. But nothing,
No,
really?
Keith.
No fucking reaction
No.
out of any of you? God damn it.
No, Keith.
I've never seen Game of Thrones.
Yeah, me neither.
Ugh.
Oh, wow.
Ugh.
Every
It's known-
morning I sit on the throne.
It's known for flaccid penises.
Like a lot
Although
of
I know I've heard all the fan theories that Breaking Bad leads to Game of Thrones.
with that now that is a freaking interesting theory, but
Flaccid.
it's Game of
What'd
Thrones.
you say, Keith?
Game of Thrones is pretty popular. Do you know who liked it?
Say
I think that's going to be my new theme with the drive of the week. Try to find a way to work it into the conversation. Yeah. So
talent.
yeah.
This podcast is kind of like Seinfeld. This is not about anything.
No,
right
it's
now.
not. It started out solid, but
Is
now
it
we're
ever?
going all over.
Is it ever?
It's all over the board.
Everyone?
Bored.
Yeah.
So what's
Bored?
your
Bored?
I saw that there was an article when I shared it with you guys about people having to be
No, there wasn't.
reminded not to call 911 because they don't have toilet paper in this crisis. Which is a bit extreme. But
I concur. Don't call 911 here.
in this situation, like, what would it
Wait,
take?
how far through the roll are they? Is it all the way through?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
is it single ply? I mean,
Yes, I mean that alone.
I mean, let's be honest. It's a crisis. Use both sides. But where the hell was I going with this?
no.
Here we go.
You don't even know, Keith.
What would it take for you to reach out to the police for help in this time? Like seriously, like what level of desperation would you really need to get law enforcement authorities involved?
I would only get them involved if one of my children got like very sick.
Right?
Then I would call 911.
Yeah. Same here. My wife.
Like I see, like maybe if like I had like a
Well.
pipe burst or some shit, besides somebody getting sick. Steve.
What?
Oh, Steve, you're so naughty.
What? I don't even know.
But
No, I don't. Especially an ambulance, because I took an ambulance once for like it went 5 miles and it cost me $1,500.
5 miles.
I'll never
$1,500.
fucking. Yeah, it literally was 5 miles, and I'm never taking a fucking ambulance again. They gave me a lot of morphine, which was awesome, but
New York's finest taxi.
Are you sure that wasn't the morphine that cost $5,000?
it might have been. That was some wonderful morphine. I don't know. That shit you can find for like $1.50 on the street. So
Jamie's starting to lose his shit. The poll had, by the way, had it 50-50 between Jamie and Mike on Facebook. Who's going to lose their shit first?
shit.
What is the definition
Shit.
of lose your shit, though?
Get to the point where this podcast needs to end.
As soon as the show is done, I'm going to lose my shit.
It's classic.
Tradition.
That's right.
Did you see that story about the idiot in New Jersey that
Yes.
intentionally coughed on the grocery store employee?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I did not.
Yeah, the
Well, I've seen it happen.
The employee asked the guy to back away from the display of food or whatever, and he got all freaking stupid and got right up in her face and started coughing and going to be like, "Oh, I'm infected. I have it. Ah!" And so they freaking got the police involved, and they ended up charging the guy with terroristic threats.
Yeah.
Shit.
Listen, As awful as this coronavirus is, I really hope that 1/3 of America dies because of it. Because we have a lot of idiots that need to go.
I'm starting to think Thanos was onto something. I really am.
Yeah,
I'm
he
not
really
gonna lie.
was.
Yeah, but the thing about that is they're not going to take the right people.
No, they're gonna take the fucking goddamn smart people.
It's the luck of the snap. You just don't know who's gonna buy it. Feedback.
It's a sign. Yeah, a sign of going out of business.
But then there was another idiot near Philadelphia that literally walked around this grocery store coughing on all the produce, like intentionally, like thinking it's funny. So they ended up having to throw out
or other places.
No, it was another smaller grocer outside of Philadelphia. They ended up throwing out $35,000 worth of food.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, Zoo.
It's just. First of all, it's stupid because of everybody's on edge.
Artie, har.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, right.
but like,
Hey,
you know what?
You were a riot.
I was thinking about this because we were pretty famous in our day for doing stunts in public, but I don't think any of us would even entertain this shit during these times.
Well, I saw
that wasn't our style. No.
there's something going on with
we would have filmed it.
I can't remember if it was Instagram. It's on social media. It's like a coronavirus challenge where you like lick things to try to get sick. It's literally
like toilet bowls and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a 21-year-old guy who was an Instagram influencer, and I use quotation marks on that, who licked a toilet seat and 4 days later got the coronavirus. He's in the hospital now.
Good. Die.
I know people like that. I'm like, you know what? You deserve to get the fucking coronavirus.
Yeah.
Why would you fuck around? I just don't understand.
It's just so fucking stupid. Because we're fucking stupid. Human beings are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You probably got
funny, like how this
10,000
podcast, how different
10,000
it is
likes and
from a couple ones that we've done before when the coronavirus started.
Well, we exhausted the disaster movie topic pretty early on.
Well, and by the way, when I suggested that, I said we should do it for 5-10 minutes.
And what was your idea for the rest of the show?
The idea for the rest of the show was we were going to talk about how everything's changed, like since
Our
we've been
daily
stuck in-
lives. Like
Yeah.
Keith, you work in a supermarket.
Oh, dude, I don't really work in the stores, so like I'm in a different part now. I'm on the food manufacturing side in the bake shop, and so.
Well, how different is that with everything that's going on?
It's funny because when the first panic hit, and the panic shopping still really hasn't stopped at the stores, but as far as the bakery items are concerned, everything was just flying off the shelves. We were bringing in mass quantities of bagels and rolls, and making tons of bread and shipping it. And now it's gone the other way, where I think it's a product of people being out of work. They're not buying any of the fancy organic breads. They're really going for the 99-cent loaf of bread that. It's causing the orders to actually go down to the point where we were done by like 1:00 this afternoon producing everything we needed to produce for tomorrow.
Yeah, but that's odd to me. Like there's certain products that you think would be big sellers in like a situation like this, and then certain. I would never think bakery. Why bakery? Do you think?
Why it would be important? Because
why in the beginning was it such a big deal?
Because everything got blown out. So like literally they were buying whatever was left just to have it.
Oh,
like the initial. So this is my own personal theory. Obviously, there's no science behind anything that goes on in my head. The initial panic shoppers decimated the shelves, and then you had the people that were worried but weren't quite panicked, and then they saw what the people that were panicking were doing, and so they bought a bunch of shit. And then you had people like me that were in the middle that acknowledged the seriousness but weren't really worried or panicked, but just didn't want to run out of toilet paper. So you had me doing stupid shit like going to the store at 2:30 in the morning when I knew the truck was coming so that I could get a bulk pack of toilet paper just so I wouldn't run out. Not because I was scared of never being able to leave my house.
That's insider trading if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, it is. That's bullshit.
Fuck off.
Somebody goes,
shit.
Yeah.
It has poop in them, and you got all this toilet paper.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I've worked for this company for 29 years. There's got to be some nugget of information that it works to my advantage after 29 years. And I
if
finally
anyone
found
deserves toilet paper, it's Keith Grieve.
Jesus H. Christ.
Here.
So
Keith, you cannot be talking about toilet paper and Jamie saying poop and then you say nugget. You just cannot put all those words together.
I didn't say nugget. I was like, anyone pick that one up?
I got that shit.
But like it's really hard because it's put a drain on the drivers because they've only got so many hours before they have to by law they have to be off the road. They have to rest so that they don't freaking plow into people. And so it's changed the delivery schedule, so people go there in the morning and they think they're going to find a store stocked full of everything, and the deliveries are all over the board, so there's no real guarantee of anything. So like I know the store that I shop at, the meat deliveries were coming in at like 2-3 in the afternoon, and if you didn't time it right, there was nothing. I've never seen an entire meat department with nothing on the shelf, like just totally empty.
I've seen that as well in the smaller store where I go. It's unbelievable. Like I've gone at night and I see a distinct difference. I've been there early in the morning. I've been there at night, and I'm talking about like the night before. The next morning I go, and it's amazing how much stuff gets replenished in such a small amount of time. Yeah. Like I saw the whole meat department wiped out. I saw seltzers wiped out, like the whole like seltzer drinks completely wiped out, then just replenished the next day.
You get to a point where even if you're not the one panicking, you want something in your house because you don't want to have to leave the house any more than you really have to. So, the first time I was there and there was actually some level of selection in the meat department, I just started buying shit because if I don't use it, I'll put it in the freezer. Because I'm not going to get to a point where I'm eating pasta for 4 days waiting to time it right at the store.
Well, there's nothing wrong with pasta.
Well, it would be macaroni, as long as it's not the Olive Garden where you try to light it on fire, right, Mike?
That's true.
All Christ.
I should have used gasoline. But I see what you mean. But you say, okay, on a normal week, I might get meat for tacos. I might get this or that for these meals for the week. But people start looking at you funny, like if you get 2 of them instead of 1. And all of a sudden, people are looking at you like you've taken the last roll of toilet paper.
And
the
thing that I've encountered on social media that's really annoying is that people think,
just one thing.
Well, there's a bunch of things. But the one thing about the grocery aspect of this crisis is that people think that because they've gone multiple times to the store and that the shelves are empty every time that they go, they think that it's not being stocked. And the fact is that it's being replenished and it's being wiped out. And it's being replenished again and it's being wiped out. And it's that relentless of a cycle that, I don't think the store has gone 24 hours with being completely empty, except for, ironically, the toilet paper aisle. And that's only because people bought so much that the suppliers can't keep up.
I honestly think that the majority of reasonable people anyway, and I use that term loosely, they understand their store and they understand that that's the way it works. I don't think the people that are posting on the internet necessarily are the majority. Because I think that there are so many people that are like, oh, I realize the store fills up in the morning and there'll be more and there'll be this or that, but maybe that's just me. I don't know.
No, I would agree. I would agree with you on that, but it's the ones that want to get on their freaking high horse and just freaking act like they know what the fuck's going on. That just kind of piss me off. But yeah, there's a lot. Bottom line is there's a lot of people working really hard, and they're getting exhausted. And I hope it comes back to normal, just so that people can take some time off. To be quite honest.
Amen.
But,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. I think you're doing a great job, you guys.
Yeah.
It's just grief.
No, it's Greaves because Amy's doing it too. So it's
that's
Greaves.
Right.
Yeah.
She's in HR. She sits behind a desk.
Where?
How
are you doing, Steve? With being home so much, you doing all right, or besides Frozen?
No.
No.
No, I'm doing fine.
See, because that would be the opposite of the spectrum. You got Keith, who is in this particular.
What are you saying? I'm
retarded? No, I wouldn't say that. I can't
Not
say
that spectrum.
Oh, okay.
Take him to the
okay.
It's
no,
not,
it's I'm just on a vacation. I haven't had a vacation in a long time, so I'm taking a vacation.
Yeah.
And the thing was, unlike a lot of people I work with and a lot of people that I know in the industry, the day we found out that the restaurants were closing permanently, or not permanently, but just, completely closing, not having like the 50% occupancy like they did for a little bit, I went right on to the unemployment website. And it took me like a couple hours, but I hooked up unemployment day one. There are people I know that have been out of work now for 2 weeks, and they still have not been able to get through.
Oh, shit.
Because all the shit hit the fan after that, right?
Yeah, because there are literally million, like they said, was it this week? They said in 1 week, 2.3 million people filed unemployment, which is the record previous that was 700,000. But what they don't get with that 2.3 million is it's probably closer to like 5 or 6 million because a lot of people could not get through, especially in like New York State.
Right.
Like I said, I kept trying over and over and over and over again until it finally let me get through. I was not going to stop until it did.
So we got a couple questions here.
What?
If you could only eat one type of food during the quarantine, what would it be?
Pusai.
Makes sense. But the question did say food, Steve. It did say.
Well,
it did say food.
That's actually a pretty good question. If you only eat one type of food,
I like Steve's answer, but go ahead.
I think pussy is a good
flavored Pez. No question about it.
I'm trying to think. I'd probably go with like a hamburger.
That's generic.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
You could criticize.
Stupid.
You criticize me for my question about fucking Dawn of the Dead, and so that's what you get.
Oh
my
bringing up
God.
shit from 20 minutes ago.
That's right.
Yeah, he is.
So pissed. He's got a voodoo doll of me. Like,
I'm still holding.
Birthdays.
I'm still holding
So
on to
even
shit
though-
from
Even though
1993.
Keith made light of it, I'm going to say pasta.
Bill Joe.
It would be anything meat based. Like we did strip steaks the other night in the oven. Yeah.
That's what I said. Putty cat.
No, you said hamburger. Hamburger. I'd have a hamburger.
Better with a hamburger.
I'd gladly pay you tomorrow for a hamburger today.
Goddamn communist Keith over here.
You know what I had for dinner?
He likes all the sausage Jamie's been tweeting us.
You know what I had for dinner tonight? I had a garbage plate.
What?
I did.
And that's
Oh,
I did. I had a garbage plate. I enjoyed it. Anywho, what should the punishment be, rather, for people actually purposely infecting someone with coronavirus?
Death.
These are all questions by David Bell. Thank you for watching, by the way.
You should have to be stuck in a house with your family for 2 months.
Ah, good one.
That's a good one, actually. Nice.
So do you think that we'll have another baby boom in 9 months?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
I'm fucking when this is over.
Well, you're fucking now.
I mean,
not in this fucking household.
yeah. Well, we're all
My son.
we're all married. We know that shit ain't happening.
My son is a hurricane baby, so.
Oh, well, you know who's gonna bang after this? What do you mean, everyone?
Wait, is there some shortness of sex now? Is there something keeping people from having sex now?
So
I practice twice a day.
Other questions.
Been married for about 12, 13 years. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with coronavirus.
Oh my
I have
God.
the
The
Kaholi
answer is
virus,
marriage?
apparently.
All right, this is as good a time as any. We'll hit the outro. Thank you all for watching. This has been episode 17 of F That Noise. We'll be back next week. Damned if we know when, but sometime next week. Have a good week. F That Noise on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube channel.
That's pretty much it.